And a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. May I request everyone to please settle down, especially at the entry and exit ways. If I may request you not to crowd the entry and exit ways. And may I request everyone to please settle down. And a gentle reminder to kindly switch off your mobile phones or put it on the silent mode during the proceedings of the inaugural session. Ladies and gentlemen, there are also the feedback forms. If I may request you to kindly fill those and leave it at the registration desk at the end of the program. We'd be very grateful. May I please request everyone once again to please settle down as quickly as possible. We will be commencing the inaugural session very shortly in a few moments from now. Thank you. Namaskar, ladies and gentlemen. May I please request you to kindly join me in extending a very warm and hearty welcome to our beloved Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Naveen Patnaik ji. May I now extend a very warm welcome and invite our esteemed dignitaries on the dais, Shri Ananta Das, Honorable Minister for Industries and Higher Education, Government of Odisha. A very warm welcome to you, Honorable Minister. May I request you, ladies and gentlemen, to join me in extending a very warm welcome to our Honorable Minister. May I now extend a very warm welcome and invite on the dais our guest of honor for this inaugural session. I warmly welcome Mr. Naveen Jindal, Chairman, Jindal Steel and Power Limited. May I also invite Mr. Harish Ahuja, Managing Director, Shahi Exports. Mr. Mark Hoffman, CEO and Managing Director, SMS Group India Private Limited. May I request Mr. Naveen Jindal to kindly join us. Mr. Ritesh Agarwal, Chairman and Founder of Oyo Rooms. May I also invite Shri Aditya Prasad Padhi, Chief Secretary, Government of Odisha. Dr. Sunil Kumar Bhargav, Chief Resident Commissioner, Government of Odisha. And we are joined by Shri Sandeep Somani, President-elect FICCI. Once again, an extremely warm welcome to our distinguished dignitaries and guests on the dais. Namaskar and a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sanati Pani, and on behalf of the Government of Odisha, I welcome you all to this investors' meet in the capital city of New Delhi. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege of introducing the state of Odisha, the soul of India with its rich culture and plethora of new opportunities. The #1 ranked state in India in terms of investment implementation rate, Odisha has grown over the years, and with it, so have the industries. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have on stage successful industrialists and entrepreneurs who have been an integral part of this incredible story. A story that will unfold as the day progresses. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure of inviting Shri Sandeep Somani, President-elect FICCI and Vice Chairman, and Managing Director of Hindustan Sanitary Ware Industries Limited, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Shri Naveen Patnaik ji, Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Anand Das ji, Honorable Minister Industries, Government of Odisha, Shri A.P. Padi, Chief Secretary, Government of Odisha, Shri Sanjeev Chopra, Principal Secretary, Industries, Government of Odisha, dignitaries on the dais, excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, senior state government officials, captains of industry, members of media, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you at this important program today. We are honored by the presence of Shri Naveen Patnaik, Honorable Chief Minister, at this occasion. Sir, we are encouraged by the fact that your government is placing great importance to the industrial development of the state. I am sure that under your dynamic leadership, Government of Odisha will continue to undertake proactive measures to further catalyze the growth of the manufacturing sector and the overall economic development of the state. We keenly look forward to listening to your vision about the developments of Odisha. I am also privileged to welcome Shri Anand Das, Honorable Industries Minister, Government of Odisha, and the team of senior bureaucrats from the state government for their presence and for their guidance and support in organizing today's events. With tremendous natural resources, robust infrastructure, skilled talent pool, and a proactive government, Odisha is indeed a land of endless opportunities for investors across sectors. The Government of Odisha has been making constant and meaningful efforts for enhancing the investment attractiveness of the state through its policy interventions and encouraging ease of doing business. Government of Odisha is also proactively approaching investors to showcase the investment potential of the state. Make in Odisha Conclave, which will be organized on November 11th to 15th, 2018 at Bhubaneswar, is a major initiative of the state government in this direction. FICCI, as the national industrial partner, is proud to be associated with this prestigious event, and I must thank the state government for reposing their faith in us. As a partner, FICCI is supporting the state government by giving its inputs in sectoral policies and promotional materials, structuring the program of the conclave, reaching out to investors. The Investors Roadshow, including the one being organized today, are part of the exercise to reach out to investors. These roadshows have received tremendous response, even in international destinations. One of the objectives of today's event is to project the investment potential of the state. I am sure all the entrepreneurs, investors, and business leaders present here will avail of this opportunity to evaluate the prospects and consider investments on Odisha in their areas of interest. We also hope that many of you would participate in the Make in Odisha Conclave. I must acknowledge and thank the members of the Diplomatic Corps for their presence and participation in the roadshows. I am sure they will praise the business community of their respective countries of the immense investment opportunities in the state. I sincerely hope that today's meet would serve as a springboard for a long-term and fruitful partnership between the investing community and the state of Odisha. Honorable Chief Minister, let me reiterate that FICCI is delighted to partner with Government of Odisha in Make in Odisha Conclave. On behalf of FICCI, I would like to assure all cooperation and support in these endeavors of the Odisha government for accelerating the pace of economic resurgence of the state. Thank you.
Thank you, Shri Somani, for your warm welcome address, and you've indeed set the tone for today's investors' meet. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite Shri Aditya Prasad Pari, Chief Secretary, Government of Odisha, to kindly highlight the key policies and institutional reforms undertaken in Odisha to facilitate industrial development.
Honorable Chief Minister, Honorable Minister for Industries and Higher Education, dignitaries on the dais, members of the Diplomatic Corps, captains of industries, senior officials of the state government, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to this investors meet. Under the leadership and guidance of our Honorable Chief Minister, Odisha has emerged as a preferred investment destination for industries, both from within India and across the globe. A leading industry association has ranked Odisha as the #1 state in terms of investment implementation rate, and we are consistently ranked among the top 3 states in terms of live manufacturing investments in India. Odisha experienced a 16.5% year-on-year growth in live investments during 2016-17 compared to less than 5% for the rest of the country during that period. This has been made possible by the coordinated efforts of all the state agencies and our departments. Our state has tried to provide a hassle-free business environment to investors. To ensure this, we have taken many significant steps in terms of policy and institutional reforms and have implemented some of the most progressive policies in India. This includes the Industrial Policy Resolution of 2015 and other sectoral policies in focus areas. The common thread in all these policies is the intent of the state government to broad-base industrial growth and accord focused attention to identified manufacturing sectors. This is being done to realize Vision 2025, which has been laid out in our industrial development plan. Besides, the overall focus has been on incentivizing value addition, encouraging innovation, and ensuring sustainable development through all these policies. The state has been a pioneer in the single window institutional mechanism, and our state level single window clearance authority and state level facilitation cell have emerged as a strong and effective institutional setup that has facilitated ease of doing business for enterprises. Senior officers from all departments have been deputed to our state level nodal agency IPICOL to handhold, mentor, and resolve the issues faced by investors. As a result of these institutional reforms and enhanced interdepartmental coordination, I am happy to state that at present, the approval time for projects has been cut down to only 20 days. Besides, timelines for delivering government to business services have not only been radically reduced, but now they are part of the Odisha Right to Public Services Delivery Act, thereby making it mandatory for government servants to obey the deadlines which have been set under the Act. I am happy to convey that the state has been accomplishing path-breaking technological reforms to reduce the physical business to government interface. We have introduced a first of its kind innovative Go Swift, which is the Government of India single window investor facilitation and tracking portal, along with several other technological interventions. Odisha has been categorized as an achiever towards facilitating ease of doing business by leveraging technology. I am glad to state that recently we have received the 360-degree proposal through Go Swift portal within a short span, the 350th proposal through the Go Swift portal within a short span of 9 months of its implementation. Focusing on the development of human capital, the state government has launched the Skilled in Odisha program, which is now emerging as a national and global brand. I am happy to inform you that a World Skill Center is being set up in the capital city of Bhubaneswar. It is a 16-floor infrastructure where we aim to provide the best physical, digital and intellectual infrastructure to bring transformative human development through the skilling of our youth. Odisha also provides a welcoming experience to investors and the expats living there. Propelled by continued reforms in public service delivery, enhanced citizen amenities, and a vision for excellence, a recent global survey has ranked Bhubaneswar among the top 50 smart city governments in the world. You may be aware that Bhubaneswar was ranked #1 in the Smart City Challenge conducted by the Government of India in 2016. I would like to thank the Honorable Chief Minister for his vision and continuous guidance towards spearheading the socio-economic and industrial development in the state. I thank everyone present here and welcome you all to join us for the Make in Odisha being held in Bhubaneswar from 11th to 15th November of this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Shri, for throwing light on the key policies and reforms which have enabled smooth facilitation and leveraged growth of investments and infrastructural development. Ladies and gentlemen, Odisha is the investment destination of choice, but what makes it such an enticing prospect for industries? Why don't we ask her? Ladies and gentlemen, let us hear from Odisha who she is. Can we have a video presentation showing Odisha advantages for industrial development, please?
To be one of the largest investors in the state of Odisha. Jio's investment in Odisha for development of digital infrastructure and services have opened new avenues for growth for high-tech industries in the state.
It has a huge connectivity like Paradip Port and Dhamra Port through the road and freight corridor for railway. So it will be very easy to connect to the world.
The Tata Group is proud of its century-old association with the state of Odisha. Recently, our modern steel plant at Kalinganagar has put Odisha in the world steel map. The state's modern IT infrastructure has plug-and-play facilities and is one of the foremost campuses.
For us in the Aditya Birla Group, Odisha has been one of our most preferred investment destinations. Chief Minister Shri Naveen Patnaik's exceptional leadership has been the singular factor in the rapid progress of Odisha. The state government has leveraged its competitive advantages, including its progressive policies and governance framework are a big pull factor.
In a span of just 3 years, we have doubled cargo at our Dhamra port. The support we received from the Honorable Chief Minister Shri Naveen Patnaik ji and his government is outstanding.
We at L&T take great pride in supporting the Skill in Odisha initiative. We have collaborated with Government of Odisha in imparting skills in multiple sectors in the last 6 years.
ITC has a substantial and growing presence in the state of Odisha. The low cost of operations, the availability of talented manpower, and the robust infrastructure make Odisha a compelling investment destination.
Wherever you go in the world, you hear about urban decay. Welcome to Bhubaneswar. Here we talk about the urban bloom.
I welcome you to Odisha. Come, join the juggernaut.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, for all those interested in setting up manufacturing industrial units in Odisha, the procedure is fairly simple. All you have to do is simply fill up the investment intention form kept in your folders, and the Invest Odisha team will get in touch with you to handhold and facilitate your project. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite Shri Sanjeev Chopra, Principal Secretary, Industries Department, to kindly make a presentation showcasing the opportunities Odisha has to offer across diversified sectors.
Honorable Chief Minister Odisha, Honorable Minister Industries and Higher Education, dignitaries on the dais, members of the diplomatic corps, industry captains, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege for me to make a very short presentation. In fact, I would be just adding to the film that you just saw and mention 10 reasons why you should be looking at Odisha for your next investment plan. It'll be good to begin with the vision that the Honorable CM has for the industry sector, which is, and I quote, "We want to become the investment destination of choice by continuously creating and delivering outstanding opportunities for business growth, fostering all-round socio-economic development for the state and its people." So Odisha's USP is the fact that it has the longest serving government, a stable government, a government which has set new benchmarks in transparency and stability. And that is manifested in the figures which are there in the bottom half of the slide, which show the great jump that the various indicators of industry and infrastructure have seen over the past 18 years, with a quantum jump being witnessed in most sectors. The thrust that the state government has given of late to ensure that the investors have a smooth sail, have a soft landing, so to speak, has seen that has seen a great spike in the investment proposals that we've got in the recent past. And as has already been mentioned, consistently for the past almost 1.5 decades, we have seen a higher growth rate of the state economy vis-a-vis the national average. The state has a very focused approach to industrial development, and there are 6 sectors that the state is focusing on. Food processing, including seafood, by virtue of the fact that we are a coastal state. Chemicals, plastics and petrochemicals, textiles and apparel, downstream to the metal sector, electronics, IT and IT-enabled services, and tourism. So the state's vision is to attract 2.5 lakh crores of new investments in these sectors and create 3 million new jobs in the state by the year 2025. So for all these 6 sectors, there are dedicated policies and also the requirements with respect to skilling, with respect to the infrastructure are all factored in as the state is rolling out this implementation plan for the OIDP 2025. The advantage number 3 is that the development is led by infrastructure, because we are of the firm view that in case the state is able to offer good infrastructure for industries, they are bound to come. So we have 3 ports, deep water ports at Paradip, Dhamra and Gopalpur. It's a power surplus state. It contains 11% of the country's water resources. There's a natural gas pipeline about which I will just mention in a little while. It is part of the East Coast Economic Corridor, so the entire eastern part of the state, the entire length is getting covered by the East Coast Economic Corridor. There are these huge investment regions. I am not too sure whether any other state in the country has the kind of investment regions and clusters which are coming up in Odisha. So beginning with the PCPIR, one of the 4 PCPIRs, the Petroleum, Chemical and Petrochemical Investment Region coming up at Paradip, anchored by the refinery of the Indian Oil Corporation. Then the National Investment and Manufacturing Zone at Kalinganagar, which is the steel hub of the country. We have the Dhamra Investment Region coming up, which is anchored by the Dhamra port of the Adani Group. And the Info Valley, which is a zone dedicated very close to Bhubaneswar for the electronic and the IT sector. Besides which, there are many of the sector-specific parks, because as I mentioned that the thrust is on infrastructure. So in case we are able to create common facilities for the industries which are in the similar sector, obviously the cost of doing business will go down radically. The other advantage that we have is the National Waterway number 5, which is coming up, connecting the industrial areas of the state to the 2 ports at Dhamra and Paradip, which would again reduce the cost of moving bulk cargo a great deal. And the natural gas pipeline, one of the few states which would have a coverage of the natural gas pipeline, the entire 13 out of 30 districts will get covered by this natural gas pipeline, which will enable a supply of assured gas to the industries, as was being mentioned by Mr. Somani in the morning in his meeting with the Honorable CM. It's a resource-rich coastal state. So while there are resource-rich states in the country, I think we have the distinction of being the only resource-rich coastal state. The kind of resources we have, of course, are known to all. I don't need to labor on that point. But the fact also remains that in the recent past, the state government strategy of value addition has paid off. And as of today, Odisha is the #1 producer of steel, stainless steel and aluminium in the country. And going forward, the Honorable CM has a vision that we also must add value to the metal. So we are not happy just creating metal, but you will see that the state government will come out with another policy very soon, where we'll ensure that the metal that is produced, there will be incentives given to the industries to add value to the metal and create finished products. Skilled in Odisha is a brand which is gaining great traction in the country. We are exporter of skilled manpower to the world, I would say, not only just the country. The Odisha Skill Development Authority has a dedicated job to create this brand of Skilled in Odisha. We have globally recognized institutes, besides which about 200,000 technical manpower is graduating every year from about 1,000 technical institutes. So not only are we creating this brand which will be known for the quality, but also, as we will see, the cost of this technical manpower is much lower compared to what would be there in other parts of the country. So coming to the other issue which is of great relevance to business, which is the cost of doing business, not just the ease of doing business. In terms of cost of doing business, we've just done this comparison with some states of the minimum wage rate of skilled labor, where you would see that Odisha compares extremely favorably with the other states in the country. In terms of the industrial power tariff, we are the lowest in the country, and also availability of reliable quality power. The cost of living, besides which the cost of land also is not only the availability, but the cost of land is much lower than what would be there in other parts of the country. In terms of the ease of doing business, it has been mentioned by the Chief Secretary that we have this unique portal where once you log in and once you register, all your requirements through the investment life cycle would get covered by this one portal. One need not visit any other portal except this one, which covers the entire requirements throughout the G2B interface all along the investment life cycle. So this is a portal which has got great response, and as was mentioned by the Chief Secretary, 350th proposal has been received in just little over 9 months, and we would request you to please have a look at that, and happy to also make any further modification that the industry would like. Advantage number 8 is the progressive policy ecosystem. So as I mentioned that we have these 6 sectors that we are focusing on. Accordingly, we have dedicated policies for each of these sectors to ensure that the requirements which are particular to that particular industry are not lost sight of when we are developing a generic policy which may not be suited to that particular sector. Again, if you see the point number F on the right, we have another unique concept of a private industrial park, and that too has got a great response from all the major players, including Mr. Naveen Jindal's JSPL, which will be setting up a private industrial park set up and managed by the private sector. Advantage number 9, which is something which has been an issue in many parts of the country, including ours, and we have taken care of that now by setting up this land bank of 120,000 acres, which is available on a GIS-based platform where you can not only locate land giving any search criteria. For example, 15 kilometers from the port, I need a patch of 10 acres. So this will give you the various options available. But also, using the GIS platform, you can see what are the other utilities in the vicinity. For example, power, transmission lines, water, in terms of the road, rail connectivity, all that can be seen as a preliminary recce before you actually make a physical visit. The last advantage is the state capital. It's a great place to live and to do business, highly livable city, and which is emerging as which was rated as the #1 in the challenge that was done by the Government of India among 98 cities in 2016, and is now emerging as a role model for other cities to follow. Having mentioned the advantages, let me end by inviting you all to the Make in Odisha conclave, which would be a gathering of the top minds in the various sectors in which we are organizing these seminars. It will not just be a seminar, or not just be an event to promote investment into the state, but a forum in which the best minds can meet and also come up with thoughts and ideas as to how to take the state to the next trajectory. So with this, I would like to thank you for your presence and also request to kindly attend the Make in Odisha conclave, which is happening from the 11th to 15th of November this year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shri Chopra, for your insightful presentation. You shared the 10 key and pertinent points showcasing the advantages of lucrative business opportunities in the state. While Odisha has seen growth across diversified sectors in the past few years, her journey began with the mineral-based industries and in particular with steel. In the growth of the steel sector of the state, one of the major contributors have been Jindal Steel and Power Limited, one of the biggest producers of steel in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, I now have the pleasure of inviting Shri Naveen Jindal, Chairman Jindal Steel and Power, to kindly share the firm's success story in Odisha.
Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Naveen Patnaik ji, Honorable Minister of Industries, Shri Ananta Das ji, my friend Mr. Sandeep Somani, ambassadors and diplomats of various countries, captains of industry, Chief Secretary of Odisha, Shri Padi, Industries Secretary Shri Chopra, senior officials of Government of Odisha, esteemed guests, investors, friends. I'm really happy to be here at this investors meet to make in Odisha. Like Mr. Chopra said, we are already making in Odisha, and this was a dream that Honorable Chief Minister's father, Shri Biju Patnaik ji saw, along with my father, Shri O.P. Jindal. And I remember I was very young, I was only 20 years old in 1990, when they used to talk about it. And at that time, they used to talk about setting up a 1 million-ton steel plant. A 1 million-ton steel plant in 1990 was a very, very big steel plant. And then, worthy son of Shri Biju Patnaik ji, our Honorable Chief Minister, not one, probably Odisha produces more than 20% of India's steel and has the potential of producing, I think in the future, up to maybe 35–40% of India's steel. We are very proud at JSPL that we've been able to set up a 6 million-ton steel plant in Angul district of Odisha. It has India's largest and most modern blast furnace, which we recently commissioned. For the first time in the world, we set up a plant where we would gasify the Indian coal, the Indian high ash coal, and make steel from that. We also set up India's largest pellet making facility at a location in Hon'ble of 9 million tons. So in total, we have almost invested around 45,000 crores, employing more than 50,000 people. And it has been a good experience. I would not say that we have not faced any challenges. Of course, like anywhere in the world you would go, there would be lots of challenges, and the bigger the work that you would do, the bigger the challenges there would be. There were lots of issues that came up, but we realized that in all those areas, whenever we face any challenges, we could bank on the government for the right advice, for the right support. And in the last almost 20 years, if you see, there has been an environment of great political stability. And thanks to Honorable Chief Minister's dynamic leadership, that every time we face a challenge, there were people to help us out, to guide us. For that, Honorable Chief Minister, his team of ministers, his team of senior bureaucrats, whose sole objective is how Odisha progresses, how the people of Odisha become more prosperous, how Odisha is able to develop to its full potential. So only because of all that support, amid so many challenges that we faced, we have been able to go ahead and complete the project. And we can see, with all the advantages that Mr. Chopra spoke about, the Chief Secretary, Mr. Padi, spoke about. So these are real advantages. And these are unique, I would say, only to Odisha, that Odisha is blessed with so many minerals, and it has a huge coastline also. So we are looking at setting up an industrial park, because when you set up a large steel plant, there are a lot of opportunities for many ancillary units, ferroalloys, lime producing units, and there are hundreds. So we are going to come out with a list of all such units, going to make project report, and hopefully when you come in November, and I would also like to extend an invitation to you to, when you come to Odisha in November, if any one of you wants to visit our steel plant in Angul, we would welcome that. And if anybody wants to set up an industry there in the industrial park, we'll be able to give you guidance on that. So with all this, I would say that there is tremendous potential, and I think it would be a very wise business decision to come to Odisha, to the land of Lord Jagannath. In spite of all these strengths, and then it is the land of Lord Jagannath. So you'll have Lord Jagannath's blessings to come and prosper there, and to come and be successful over there. And one thing I must say is the great strength is the people of Odisha. People of Odisha are very peaceful and dynamic and intelligent at the same time, and they're highly skillful. So highly skillful and highly technical people. So I think that's a great strength also. So with all this, I would wish you all the very best, and I would wish all the efforts of the government of Odisha, the Honorable Chief Minister and his team. And I'm confident that with all these efforts, Odisha is definitely going to outpace every other state in the country. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Shri Naveen Jindal, for sharing JSPL's story, and you also share the long association you have with the state of Odisha. Odisha's history dates back to the times of the Mauryan Empire, but however, she has been redefined in the recent years by the entrepreneurial spirit of her proud children. Representing this spirit of innovation and zeal to succeed, we have with us, ladies and gentlemen, Shri Ritesh Agarwal, founder and CEO of Oyo Rooms. May I request him to kindly share how his childhood in Odisha helped him to create one of India's most popular and largest hospitality company.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Naveen Patnaik, Honorable Minister of Industries, Shri Ananta Das ji, Honorable Resident Commissioner, Mr. Bhargav, of course, captains on the industry, FICCI Chairman Select, Mr. Somani, Mr. Naveen Jindal, who's been an inspiration to entrepreneurs, and of course, my friends from the industry, Director Tourism, Director Industries, Mr. Padi from the state, and all my friends here. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to speak. Namaskar, mo bhai aur bhoni, mo na Ritesh, meaning my name is Ritesh. Mu Rayagada jillaru patho podli, sikhili. Aji Oyo Hotels ro founder chairman. Meaning I grew up in a district called Rayagada in the southern half of Odisha. That's where I was educated, and I'm glad that I have the opportunity of making a difference to people's lives by quality living spaces worldwide. So before I begin talking about Oyo and what we've been doing, we're today the largest hotel chain in South Asia and increasingly expanding across China, Southeast Asia, and multiple markets worldwide. Already the number 8th hotel chain in China, and of course, increasing penetration across other places. So last week, I was in a city called Jakarta, and I was talking about Oyo and its progress. And I mentioned the first time I had heard about the country of Indonesia was as a young child. As a young child, I had read about many stories of greats in Odisha, including Madhu Babu, who was very successful entrepreneurially, and of course about Honorable earlier Chief Minister Biju Patnaik. And I mentioned that I come from the same place in India where probably among the few foreigners worldwide, somebody was awarded by the specific honor of Bhumiputra in Indonesia. And almost everyone in the audience felt instantly a connect from the background I had. So I'm very lucky that I grew up in a land which has so many stories worldwide. Without spending a lot of time, I'm glad that over the last few years, Oyo Hotels today manages close to 120,000 keys by lease or franchise across South Asia, worldwide over 200,000 rooms. Every day over 100,000 people or 100,000 rooms get utilized. Every month, millions of people call and Oyo their house. And in doing all of this, we are just getting started. As we continue to make a difference to bringing beautiful living spaces to common man, it was impossible to ignore the state of Odisha. and especially given I was born and brought up there. So we chose Odisha as a place to come into close to 2 years back. When we first went to both Bhubaneswar and Puri, which are both very famed tourism destinations, have significant amount of hospitality tourism around themselves, we felt it would take significant amount of effort like it would take in any of the states that we go to. But I didn't know about something that our friends and asset owners in Puri were able to point out to me. Oyo's logo, by a sheer chance or luck, I don't know, tends to look like the eyes of Lord Jagannath. And so many of our asset owners just came and joined us because they felt that this was a relation or a connect that existed. But notwithstanding that, and by the grace of God, in the last 2 years, Oyo is already the largest hotel chain in the state of Odisha. We manage close to 100 assets in the state and growing to enable close to 300 assets by the end of next year. But while doing all of this, my sincere hope and belief is that the beautiful state of Odisha, known because of pilgrim tourism of Puri, increasingly famous beach tourism of Puri, great greenery, and also many unexplored places like Balasore, Koraput, and places in the state. I believe that we and broader industry, myself as a co-chairperson of a couple of investment committees on tourism, I believe that all of us together can enable significant amount of tourism in the state in a lot of unexplored destinations as well. Mr. Chopra mentioned about a bunch of advantages of the state. So most of the points I wrote, I eliminated them. But I will just share that the skillfulness of people in Odisha is unparalleled. In most of our companies being here, it is impossible to walk around the shop floors without finding people speaking in Odia. For me, I feel like home most of the times at our hotel corridors, because more often than not, I find people speaking in Odia, and then I, of course, chime in. We believe that skilled talent has been another very big opportunity from the state. Odisha has given probably the most amount of bureaucrats, the most amount of companies, leaders, and top executives, entrepreneurs, and of course, with IIT Bhubaneswar, IIM Sambalpur, and a bunch of very solid global institutes, the state will continue to produce great talent. Infrastructure is a huge opportunity. I believe personally Odisha has one of the most likable infrastructure at the lowest cost for companies such as ours who have an internet technology and a physical operations side combined with each other. It is unique to find this advantage in one place, and Odisha has been one of those states. And most importantly, like it is always said, the proof of the pudding is when you put your skin in the game. So I genuinely believe that the quality of life in Bhubaneswar is great. There is no better example than that of my own family living in the city of Bhubaneswar as we speak, and they continue to, of course, avoid any of my potential discussions about any other movements. They only try to convince me to move back to Bhubaneswar sooner. So I believe that there are so many opportunities in the state, but with all of these opportunities, they are just good people to work with who genuinely want to work hard and make a difference to themselves and to people around themselves in the long periods to come. So with this, Oyo is on a mission to upgrading living spaces for people worldwide, from being India's largest hotel chain to the world's largest hotel chain by 2023. I believe in this process, we can sincerely ourselves and through our friends in the industry contribute a little bit to make Odisha among the most prosperous states in India, and not just prosperous by investment, but also prosperous by better lifestyle and, of course, significant number of jobs to our friends and co-citizens of Odisha. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Agarwal, for sharing your enchanting success story of Oyo Rooms and, of course, your deep connect with the state. Ladies and gentlemen, while Odisha is the mineral hub of India, she has successfully forayed into other sectors, reinforcing her commitment to diverse investment opportunities. This distinction would not have been possible without the presence of Shahi Exports, and I take this opportunity to invite Mr. Harish Ahuja, Managing Director of Shahi Exports Private Limited, the largest apparel exporter of the country, to kindly share the journey that they have traversed in Odisha and their experience.
Honorable Chief Minister, Government of Odisha, Shri Naveen Patnaik ji, Honorable Industry Minister, Shri Anant Das ji, respected Chief Secretary, Shri A.P. Pandhi, respected Principal Secretary, Industry, Shri Sanjeev Chopra, senior officers, my industry friends on the dais and off the dais, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to be here for Investors Roadshow, which is prelude to American Odisha Conclave 2018, scheduled in the month of November. Let me briefly talk about our apparel industry. Apparel industry is the second largest employment provider after agriculture. Its potential can be seen from the fact that it generates 13 times more jobs than IT, 80 times more than auto industry, and 240 times more than steel industry. It is low capital intensive, but highly labor intensive. Investment of rupees just 1 crore in garment industry generates employments to about 60 to 70 jobs compared to 6 jobs across all other industry. Despite great potential of the industry, India's performance has been below par, stagnating at $17 billion for the last 3 years. China exports 10 times more than India. We are far behind. Our share in the international market is around 5%. India has an edge over other countries from fiber to fashion, with the exception of China. We can turn this to our advantage and capture larger share of industrial international market. I must compliment Government of Odisha for having thought of apparel industry many years ago and take active steps to attract investment in apparel sector. This was all due to vision and far-sighted policies of Government of Odisha under the kind guidance and leadership of the present Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Naveen Patnaik ji. Way back in January 2014, we were invited by the Government of Odisha for making investment in garment unit in the state. Odisha has lots of natural resources. There is no dearth of investment in areas such as coal, steel, aluminum, mines, etc. Although investment is heavy in these sectors, this does not generate a required level of employment. As a result, workers from Odisha have to migrate to other states for employment and living. Government of Odisha has showed its keen interest in having those industries where employment generation is maximum. After going through our presentation and further deliberations, we were told that this is the industry Odisha is looking for. We were told to share our requirement and were assured that same will be fulfilled. We saw that the state offers great opportunity. We were highly impressed by the very supportive and flexible attitude of the government machinery, and things started working. Within a month of our first meeting, we were offered land at a prime location in Mancheswar industrial area. It accompanied by a host of other facilities and incentives. Our industrial journey in Odisha began. The foundation stone was laid by the present Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Naveen Patnaik ji, on August 2015. Within a year, we set up our unit, which was also inaugurated by the Honorable Chief Minister. What was most striking was that the Government of Odisha located us, invited us, discussed our requirements, and came out with an attractive offer. Today, we have more than 10,000 Odia workers working in our various factories in Karnataka and other states. They are all keen to come back to Odisha, their home state. The Government of Odisha is also keen in inviting garment industry to make Odisha as a garment making hub. This dream is not far from the reality. Encouraged by the support and commitment, we decided to expand, and Government of Odisha offered us adjoining plot for our second phase. The first phase is complete, and we have over 2,300 workers working already. Our second phase will be ready by the end of this year. The beginning is already done, and with this roadshow, I'm sure garment manufacturers will come to Odisha. I see a bright future for garment industry in Odisha. The commitment shown by Government of Odisha is outstanding. Odisha has already become a skill capital of India. It will surely become garmenting hub also and provide better livelihood to people of the state. This will result in reverse migration, and people of Odisha will get jobs in their home state itself. The future generations will thank Honorable Chief Minister and his dedicated team for this pioneering work for the state. Wishing you all the best and thanking you and FICCI for inviting me to share our story, which is full of success, and many more such stories will get repeated and replicated. Thanking you.
Thank you, Mr. Ahuja, for sharing your experience in setting up your venture in the state. For Odisha, the journey of becoming the most preferred investment destination goes beyond the boundaries of domestic investments. Presence of the German-based equipment manufacturing unit, SMS Group, is a testimony to the fact that she is on her way in becoming a global investment destination. To tell you more about this, may I please invite Mr. Mark Hoffman, CEO and Managing Director of SMS Group India Private Limited, to speak about their experience of investing in Odisha.
Honorable Chief Minister, Honorable Industry Minister of Odisha, dear friends from the industry, friends from administration, and dear guests. For me, especially as a foreigner, it's a great honor to stand here and also to give some insights about the investment of a European company in India in the state of Odisha. So I'm really thankful for giving me the opportunity to speak over here and to share some of the experiences and to give a good example of our journey that we went through in the last years. So first of all, we all know globalization has increased drastically during the last 20 years, so it's up to every company to choose the best location in the world, and it's like a competition between countries and regions for the best investments, for the best companies. And in this race, it's of course about advantages. And I can tell you my company, I'm representing an engineering and manufacturing company. We are serving the steel industry. We have 14,000 employees worldwide, and we have manufacturing workshops in Germany, in China. And then some years ago, we considered India is the right place to go and to set up a workshop over here. We are already present in this country since roughly 30 years. And then in 2012, we said we want to have our own workshop here because we believe the future for our business will lie in India, and we will also be able to cater export markets from over here. We were looking for a huge space of something like around 20 acres for a high-class manufacturing workshop. We were looking, of course, for a good infrastructure and the surrounding, and we heard already a lot about the good infrastructure, the roads, the seaports, also the airports I have to mention. And of course, we were looking for an administration with an investment-friendly framework and conditions in place. And I can tell you, in Odisha, we have found all those parameters, and also we found very attractive land rates, low power tariffs, standard wage rates at a low level over there, but also very well-educated staff. And I can tell you, when I discuss this with my friends in Europe, they will always tell me, oh, it might be maybe difficult to set up something like a German or European manufacturing workshop in India. Yes, in the beginning we thought it might be a difficult journey, but over there, as it also already was mentioned, we found very, very skilled people, and we could also attract them to come over there. And so we decided to set up this workshop. It's located near the city of Bhubaneswar, and today we are also already running 2 locations in this area. And I was not in charge in former days in 4 or 5 years, but I've observed this from Germany, and I can tell you it was like record-breaking, yeah? Within a very, very short period of time, we went through the administrative process, and we inaugurated our workshop over there exactly 4 years ago. And I can tell you now, this is really a big, big success story for my company. At the moment, we have an export rate of 80% from India. So we are not only serving of course, the huge demands of our dear friends from the local steel industry that is growing. We can also achieve a level of quality in this workshop that we are able to export, and we are also able to satisfy, of course, the German demands. As you can imagine, when you come from German engineering manufacturing background, we are very precise in our work. We are very quality concentrated and focused. And what we achieve over here in this workshop is really outstanding and can cater really the demands of our customers worldwide, not only over here in India or in Southeast Asia. So this is a really big achievement. And I would like to conclude with my thoughts on the globalization from the beginning. I personally believe that in the state of Odisha, you can really see and feel the advantage of a globalized world that we are living in. And you also can see how this great administration over there is really developing and giving the best support that you really can dream of if you are a foreign investor. I can only encourage the same as Shri Naveen Jindal did in the beginning. If you are coming to Odisha in November, please inform us, visit our workshop, see it as a kind of example that you can go there and observe. You can raise questions, you can interact with us, and we will also be there to support you if you have any questions. I can only congratulate the Chief Minister and the government of Odisha for this development, and I would like to encourage you to keep up this great development plan that you have in mind, and please support the industry and as well as the society as you're already doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mark Hoffman, for sharing your experience, and you also shared the various advantages that enabled your organization for setting up business in the state and especially catering to customers not just within the country but across the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, Odisha's journey indeed has been extraordinary, and this journey would not have been possible without the able guidance and unconditional support of our Honorable Minister of Industries and Higher Education, Shri Ananda Das. May I please request Honorable Minister to kindly share his thoughts.
Good morning to everybody, those who have come to attend this roadshow. Honorable Chief Minister, Odisha, Chief Secretary and other senior officers of Odisha government, 4 dignitaries, business magnates who have expressed their experience in Odisha, about Odisha, in Odisha, and doing their business. And other, my dear friends from corporate world and media friends. It is a great pleasure and privilege to be present here amongst all of you today in the capital city of India. Friends, under the progressive leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Naveen Patnaik, Odisha has achieved rapid socio-economic and industrial growth in the past 18 years, which is termed as able government, stable government, and progressive government. We are growing at a rate higher than the national average, and the industrial development is a core component contributing to this fast growth of the state. A significant aspect of the growth is attributed to the strategic location of Odisha. As you know, Odisha is situated in the east coast of India, and there are 480 kilometer coast road, and we have got, Honorable Chief Minister has got it surveyed, and 14 places have been identified for establishment of a port, out of which 4 ports are now functioning. As you know, all the state is located along the east coast with easy access to the market, in Eastern India, ASEAN and East Asia regions. We have taken up various initiatives, including promulgation of conclusive policies and development of world-class industrial and logistical infrastructure to ensure that the industries operating out of Odisha benefits due to the advantageous location of our state. As a result of such initiatives, our state has recorded the highest growth in export during 2016 and 17, and has been recognized as the champion of the state's exports. The fulcrum of the recognition is the Paradip port, which is the second largest port in India. Adding further to the port-led manufacturing is the fast emerging of Dhamra port, which is one of the deepest ports in the country. Apart from these, deeper water ports are coming up at Subarnaka, which is close to my constituency. I am grateful to the Chief Minister. He announced for establishment of the port, and it has started the work. And Astaranga, along with Coast Economic Corridor. We have also approved the first riverine port project of Odisha to be set up in Mahanadi River in Kendrapada district. Moreover, we are developing a chain of 12 non-major ports along our coast to ensure the unprecedented development in this region. I take this opportunity to highlight that the state has developed a GIS-based industrial land use and infrastructure information system, Government of Odisha Portal for Land Use and Service, GOE+. The portal is a web enabling platform to display the real-time information with regard to the land bank of more than 1 lakh acres created specifically for industrial purpose. The system is equipped to provide detailed information regarding availability of the industrial plots based on location, specific attribution in the terms of connectivity, rail and road linkage, and other physical, health and educational infrastructure available in the vicinity of the selected industrial land. Ladies and gentlemen, with the network of industrial cluster and mesh of connectivity infrastructure, along with abundant availability of the raw materials and interrupted power supply and water, skill development force, Odisha is the most competitive investment destination for industries. So when any of the industrial person think for a establishment of the university or industries, he will first of all think about Odisha and its destination. Our state provides enormous opportunity for industries across all sectors, and we invite you to explore these opportunities and make Odisha your investment destination. To showcase the business opportunities along with the manufacturing powerless of the industries operating in Odisha, the state conduct a biennial flagship business event called Make in Odisha Conclave. The first edition of the Make in Odisha Conclave was in 2016, evoked enthusiastic response with announcement of our 2 lakh crores investment intent. I am happy to inform you that about 65% of the projects are at various stages of approval and implementation. Lastly, we extend warm invitation to all of you to the second edition of the Make in Odisha Conclave from 11 November to 15 November and look forward to your participation. I hope you will come and see Lord Jagannath and beautiful tourist place from beginning of Odisha, from Bhogarai to Gopalpur. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you, Honorable Minister Shri Das, for your kind address and for highlighting the various opportunities and strengths of the state, which makes it an unmatched destination for investment and growth. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Odisha has always been keen on providing a transparent ecosystem for industries to thrive. And in this regard, the state is making available all information on the business ecosystem in the state through a single user-friendly portal, Invest Odisha. May I now request Honorable Chief Minister Shri Naveen Patnaik ji to kindly launch the new website for Invest Odisha. Thank you, Honorable Chief Minister. The Make in Odisha Conclave is the biennial flagship business event of Odisha, and after the resounding success in 2016, the state has decided to organize the second edition of the event from the 11th to the 15th of November 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, Make in Odisha Conclave 2018 promises to be even bigger, more vibrant and magnetic than the first edition, and will showcase the resurgence of Odisha as the manufacturing hub of the country. The registrations for the conclave are now open, and you're all cordially invited to Bhubaneswar and witness India's best kept secret in all its glory. Speaking of glory, ladies and gentlemen, Odisha's phenomenal growth would not have been possible without the vision of one person. His government has set new benchmarks in able and transparent government in the past 2 decades. He's a story writer of her journey and has also envisioned her future growth. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and pleasure to invite Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Naveen Patnaik ji, to kindly address us.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to be with all of you here in the national capital today. I take this opportunity to invite all of you to participate in the Make in Odisha Conclave, our flagship biennial global investors meet. I'm sure that this event will enable you to know more about the investment opportunities in Odisha, which is fast emerging as the manufacturing hub of Eastern India. Let me draw your attention to some of the major developments happening in my state, highlighting our significant potential. As you're aware, our natural strength lies in being a mineral-rich state. During the last 18 years of my government, we have focused on enhancing the production level of key minerals and value-added products. Today, Odisha is the aluminium capital of South Asia, accounting for over 54% of the country's production. We are also counted as the steel hub of the country, contributing to about a quarter of India's steel production. Currently, my government is engaged in laying a roadmap, Vision 2030, development of downstream and ancillary in the metal sector, with the aim to further vitalize downstream ecosystem of the state. Enhancing and strengthening infrastructure has been a priority of my government for over the last 18 years. Accordingly, our port capacity has increased 10 times to 190 million metric tons at present. Similarly, power generation has increased more than threefold, and the road network has increased over 50%. We have launched today a single user-friendly portal in West Odisha to enable the industry make informed investment decisions by comparing the competitiveness of Odisha with other states and other countries. It also engages with the investors through a unique chat box Odisha, which provides customized information to the users. My government has already demonstrated its commitment to deliver projects on the ground using the mantra of 3 T's: teamwork, technology, and transparency. In the last 6 months alone, we have conducted groundbreaking ceremony for 50 projects entailing investment of over rupees 17,000 crores, with the potential to provide employment opportunities to thousands of people in the state. Skilling of our youth is another priority of my government. We have launched Skill in Odisha program for development of our human capital, which is already gaining recognition as a global brand. Odisha also has a visible startup ecosystem. Within a few months of launching Startup Odisha initiative, 250 startups have been registered in the state, and we are poised to be amongst the top 3 startup hubs of India by 2020. I'm glad to announce that we are organizing the second edition of our flagship initiative, Make in Odisha Conclave, during November the 11th to November the 15th this year at Bhubaneswar, to showcase the investment potential it offers in diverse sectors and the manufacturing prowess of the state. The theme of Make in Odisha Conclave 2018 is I Am Odisha, which celebrates all the successes of Odisha and her people in creating a vibrant environment for business. I Am Odisha is a unique platform for the people to share their stories that showcase the Odisha of today and present their vision for the Odisha of the future. I extend a very warm welcome to all present here today to come and experience the infinite opportunities that my state offers. I assure you of unmatched facilitation from my government. I look forward to see all of you in Bhubaneswar at the Make in Odisha Conclave 2018. Come, join the juggernaut. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Minister, for your insightful address highlighting the path that the state of Odisha will take in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite Shri Sanjay Singh, Commissioner cum Secretary, Skill Development and Technical Education Department, Government of Odisha, and also Chairman Managing Director, Odisha Industrial Infrastructural Development Corporation, to kindly propose a vote of thanks.
Honorable Chief Minister, sir, Honorable Minister, Industry and Higher Education, dignitaries on the dais, members of the diplomatic corps present here, industry leaders present off the dais, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank Honorable Chief Minister for his leadership and vision in driving the industrial growth in Odisha. Thank you, sir, for your gracious presence in the investors' meet today. I also take this opportunity to thank Honorable Minister Industries for his continuous support and encouragement in all the initiatives of the department. I thank Chief Secretary, sir, for taking out time to be present here today and guiding us on all the policies, infrastructures, and reform framework to support industrial growth in the state of Odisha. I also thank all the dignitaries and industry leaders present today on the dais and off the dais for their presence in the event today and for being a partner in our growth story. I also take this opportunity to thank all the diplomats and representatives from various embassies and missions present here today. We look forward to working with all of you to make stronger trade and investment relationship with all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, senior officials and colleagues from the state government, friends from media, thank you all for your participation in the event today. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank FICCI, our national industry partner, for the support in successful organization of the meet today. Once again, I thank all of you, again reminding with an invitation to attend the Make in Odisha conclave in November this year from 11th to 15th. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. With this, we come to the conclusion of the Odisha Investors Meet. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. May I please invite members of the press and media to kindly join us in the media interaction room, which is adjacent to this hall for the press meet. And may I request all our delegates to kindly fill up the investment forms at the registration desk at the exit. And may I also request everyone to kindly join us for lunch. Thank you.